Hi, I've been requested to do a little blog all about dremeling your dog's nails. Now, the one that I use for my Ridgeback guys is this one. So this is a Dremel 8200 and it's a rechargeable version rather than the corded variety. I find the corded ones are very difficult to use because you tend to be plugged into the wall and then the cord and it wraps around the dog's legs and it makes life really difficult. So if you can get a rechargeable one instead, cordless variety, it's going to be a lot easier for you to maintain your dog's nails and be less of a fight. Now the actual battery that comes in it will charge up for you very, very quickly indeed. A full charge, probably, I don't know, half an hour, something like that. They're really good from that perspective. And I'm able to do 3 dogs, so 12 paws on one charge. Now that's provided that you stay on top of your grinding regime that you do. So normally what we would say is if you're doing a maintenance grind, which is just getting the dog's nails to where they should be, their normal level, just to keep the dogs healthy and safe, then if you do that every week or 2, that's fine. If you're looking at physically getting the quicks to recede, then you're going to need to do that about once every 3 or 4 days. And that will help the nails to actually get shorter for you. If you do it longer than a week or 2, they're not going to get shorter. They're just going to get taken down to a level that you're happy with. So the rule of thumb there is if you are actively shortening and receding the quicks every 3 or 4 days, but if it's just maintenance because you're happy with the length that you've got to, then every couple of weeks or so should be fine with that. So I guess we need to talk about the way a dog's nails are really so that it makes sense to you. So I've done a little drawing. Please forgive my rubbish artistic skills. Let me turn that there for you. Okay, so what you have then, the dog's toe, furry bit here, pad underneath, nail that comes down, and that can be black, brown, cream, stripy in some cases. But in the middle of that, you have the quick. Now the quick is the bit with all the blood in and what have you, that if you cut that by mistake, that's when you have a bloodbath and that's where the problems are. Above and below and around the quick, you have a pulp, a chalky substance there that supports the quick and that helps it feel comfortable. So what you're going to do is shorten the nail so that there is less of this lovely pulp around the quick, and in response to that, the quick will start to dry at the end so that it recedes and actually gets shorter. Now the way that you make that happen is like this. You take hold of the dog's nail and instead of trying to do it from the front, I want you to flip them up underneath and have a look at the nails from underneath them there. What you will see is a nail that looks like this from underneath. So you have the outer shell and then you have a rim of the pulpy stuff and then you've got the quick in the middle. Now that quick in the middle feels like a dimple, a dent. So if you smooth your finger across the underneath of the nail, this bit would be flat, this bit would have an indentation, and then it would be flat again. So you're going to take your Dremel and you're going to grind it flat across here so that as you run your finger across it, you don't feel the dimple anymore. That feels nice and smooth. And the moment it feels smooth, that's the time to stop. And that will give you a smaller area here, which you can see, and that's what was that big dimple has now got much smaller and is only this big. Once you get to that point, stop with your grinding on the flat part and instead you're going to take the tip of the nail off. Now because you can see where that dimple is or was, we make sure that we do not touch it. We want to stop at this cut line before we get to there. So we just take the front of the top of the nail off and then we do the same on the side edges there as well. And that's going to give us a nail that's that kind of shape. So we're getting rid of all this pointy part on the top without any problem or any danger that we're actually going to go into the quick. So if you're doing the front leg, take hold of the leg and bring it and balance it on your knee, and then you can Dremel from underneath perfectly happily there. So I'm never going to look at the tops, I'm doing it all from underneath. If it's a back leg that you're doing, you're just going to take them above the hock And I'm just going to rest that on the back of on my knee there and take my Dremel, and again I can do everything from underneath. The dog's facing the other way, he definitely does not need to see, but from there I can get underneath the nails perfectly to where I need to be. So I've got my Dremel set to about 1600 RPM. I'm going to position the foot as I want it, and I'm going to use my Dremel when it's switched on and have it flat across the bottom of here so that you can see the dimple disappear and the hole start to get smaller. It is a bit noisy, but unfortunately spinning causes that. Just a minute, babe. Now what you can see, now I've done that, if I bring that a little bit closer, is that that hole in the middle has got very, very small, and that's what I was talking about. So I wouldn't take it down any further than that. But now what I'm going to do is take the tip off and the sides. Wait. Wait. Good boy, wait. 1 minute. There's a good boy. So what we've now got is a nail where you can see we've come closer to the hole in the middle, but we've not touched it, and I've just taken the edges off, and that's all that that nail needs to be now to shorten it. So doing the front one, same thing again, just rest him on my knee so that I can see where I'm going to be, and take it down till I've got a nice smooth part so that there's no indentation in where the hole is. Good boy. So now that feels nice and smooth when I run my thumb across it, and there's only a tiny little bit, I'll bring that there, of the little black bit showing in the middle, that circle, so I'm going to stop at that point, and now I'm going to do the tips and the sides instead. Side, side, and then the tip. Wait, good boy. Good lad. And when we've done it, you can see that we're nice and close to it, but we haven't gone too far, and we can stop at that point. And it's nice and smooth when we've done it.